back of this cow's heel is completely peeling away. Look at the state of it. No wonder she's so sore. This is the Hoof GP.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
This is actually a lot worse than I thought. That is definitely not helping either, but it's not part of the problem. Look, you see bubbles coming out of her foot. See that? That's just slurry. That is totally fine. That's natural being like that, but these little stones, in fact there's stones all in there too. Right, trim all of this away. This is going to unveil a very big cavity. I know that because I've seen so many of feet like this over the years. This problem here, look, it's full of stones. Look, this has probably actually come about from standing on a sharp stone at some point, puncturing the cow's hoof capsule, and then eventually it just becomes inflamed and sore and starts to shed away from the rest of the foot. Right, let's, oh wow, look at that. Me putting my finger in there really helps me to understand what I need to remove. By the way, it's not just a case of, like, putting that in there separates the layers, and then I know I can get my knife right in here and as careful as I can, because I don't want to cut my finger, pull this away from the rest of the foot. Now we can see it much more clearly. Look at that problem. Try to uncover it all without making any unwanted cuts, which is not always easy and not always possible either, to be fair. She is not happy. Neither would you be if I touched your foot and it looked like that. Just get the edge of my knife in there. Flick. Oh. Look at that. That's congealed pus there. So that's granulated tissue. That has been fluid at one point. Oh look, it's just going to come out there. Look at that. God. She'll feel better already. If we put her foot down right now, we would have done her service. Clearly not a fantastic service, but it would be slightly better than when we started. That's not what we're aiming for though. We're aiming to cure this foot, to heal it, to get her back to full health, not just to make her a bit more comfortable. Trying to understand what's detached here and what is still attached. This is a white line lesion. And people call it white line disease, and I don't really understand that because it's not a disease. This is a consequence of an accident that's happened to the cow. She's hurt her foot somehow. It's become inflamed inside. And that has burst up through that white line, causing this mess. And then once all of that has happened, there's been an open lesion and dermatitis has taken hold, which is exactly what all of that is in there. We do need to get rid of all of this, but we need to reduce this a little bit more too. I think that is loose too. So we'll just get rid of that as well. In fact, we can peel bits of this away with our fingers, look. This is periopal horn and it's a lot softer. Not quite that soft. So just get rid of that. I'm going to reduce this wall horn a little bit, just to soften the edges, and there's a hard edge there, which means it must still be detached a bit. Just get under that little flap and flick it away. Right, I think what we're going to do now is, I don't want to use the grinder too much because she was kicking around a bit, but what we're going to do now is we're going to reduce all of this height here with the grinder and prepare this for a block. I don't have very much material to remove from this outer claw, but what I do remove does need to be removed. The less weight on that outer claw, the better. And obviously I prepare that inner claw ready for our block so that it can stick on and adhere for as long as we need it to. Oh, And because she has dermatitis, we obviously will wrap it up. There is just that little bit more we can trim away. Just don't want any of these ridges to be left behind. Places for muck and manure to congregate. Does muck and manure congregate? Definitely collects, doesn't it? I don't like these little tiny bits in here. But I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. And I don't want to take anything in here. I'm scared that if we do, I might end up regretting it. Yeah. So this is all being attacked by dermatitis. You can tell that because it's so granulated. So we're going to spray this green spray all over it, which is full of zinc and copper oxide. And then we're going to wrap it up just like that. And she is good to go. Lovely.